Alright, hello and welcome back to Midwest Charge. Today is going to be a fun day. Just got to hop in the car real quick. Sorry about the weird angle. Let's see here. Yeah, so minus 10%. Perfect. So we should need one charge stop on the way there, maybe one or two on the way back. We're starting with about 73% state of charge, and we're going to get to Micro Center at 7 p.m. They close at 9. So let's go ahead and get on the road, and we'll talk a little more about what's going on. All right, as I'm sure many of you know, recently we acquired a new camera for the Midwest Charge channel, so gone are the days of using the Galaxy S24 exclusively for content, and now we are using a, what is it, like a DJI Action 5, I think, or whatever. But we have like a dedicated camera for the channel, which is super cool. But something that we have been missing for a long time now, as viewers have rightly pointed out, is any kind of microphone. So we've been using the onboard mics on the Action camera and the cell phone in order to do all of the videos, and we've done virtually no audio editing either. So not a great combination, but today we are fixing that. So the reason we are headed from Dayton to Cleveland and back, hopefully in one day, and by hopefully I mean it actually has to be in one day because it's the middle of the work week and I have work tomorrow morning, is because I found a screamin' deal on the, I think it's the DJI Mic 2, which is supposed to like pair up, you know, super nice with the camera that we already have for the channel. So they're normally like $350, and I'll have to grab a screenshot and put it right here. But I believe we found one for, it was like $220 or $230 for the whole kit, open box, and it's the only one in Ohio. Unfortunately, they didn't have any in the Columbus or Cincinnati locations, so we are headed up there to get a screamin' deal on a microphone. So this will actually be a super fun video because it's going to be road trip style, which are usually my favorites, and you'll actually get to hear the before and after of the audio tests, because the whole drive there is going to be done with the microphones on the camera, and the drive back is going to be done with the brand new mics. So yeah, let's get on the road and head up to Cleveland. Also, if it wasn't clear, this is like a virtually no prep road trip. Like nothing, the windows are not cleaned, the, you know, all the usual stuff is kind of just thrown in and we're going. So this is just a not a, you know, maximum speed, but a time efficiency run. That's what we'll call it. You know, definitely doing legal speeds the whole time, but a time efficiency run. Try to get there and back as efficiently as possible. Some more route planner shenanigans here. So you may remember when we punched in the Micro Center at our beginning point, it said minus 10% arrival, and now we are all the way up to minus 2. So I'm just going to let it keep going, but there's a very real chance that we will not need to stop until either at Micro Center or slightly before it, which would be kind of cool. But in the meantime, we'll just keep an eye on things, and as we start to approach Columbus, we'll keep our options open. Also, let me know, guys, what would you use an AI in your car for? Because I just recently got the update that adds Grok to the car, and I'm really struggling to find, like, practical uses for it. Like, I can ask it about the traffic, but I already have that in my navigation. I can ask it about the weather, but I have that as well. Yeah, I don't know. I asked it to guess where the tape was in Walmart, and it guessed correctly, but it ended up being a fluke. So me know what you think. Anything useful? Put it down in the comments. And for the unfortunately few who will get this.
Who approacheth the bridge of death must answer me these questions 3.
What is your name?
Ara, nice to meet you.
What is your quest?
My quest? To help you get things done, of course. What do you need me to tackle for you today?
What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
What do you mean? An African or European swallow?
Oh, that's a classic. It depends on the species, but for an unladen European swallow, the airspeed velocity is about 24 meters per second, or roughly 54 miles per hour. Want me to dive deeper into swallow aerodynamics, or move on to another quest?
Nope, thanks.
Huh? I don't know that.
It's super weird because it's 76 degrees, but it's like slightly windy and overcast outside, so it kind of feels like a fall day, but it's definitely still summer. Nice break from the, low to mid 90 degree temperatures we've been getting though, so won't complain. Also, quick update about an hour and 15 minutes in, I think. It now says we should get to Micro Center with 1%, so the estimate is getting better and better, so maybe we won't charge on the way there and we'll just charge on the way back. Not totally sure yet, but let's get past this traffic jam and get cruising. Alright guys, I think the limitation here is going to be my frail human body, not the battery of the car. So, I've been on this highway a few times before. I don't remember exactly which interstate this is, but it's going north out of Columbus. And I know for sure that there is a rest area coming up in a few miles. So we're actually going to pull off into the rest area for just a minute so I can go use the restroom. And then we will continue onward. But, yeah, we're still at a 1% slated arrival. It was up to 2% for a little while there. So, yeah, still feeling optimistic about making it either to Micro Center or almost to Micro Center before needing to charge, which I consider a big win because again, this whole road trip, there was zero planning involved. I hopped in the car and I think it was at 72 or 73%. It was not ready for a road trip. It wasn't even charged up to its usual 80. So, yeah, great range, great efficiency, great speeds, and there we go. Rest area, 1.5 miles, and it probably doesn't show up on the camera, but that was the sign. And here we are. It is the rest area sign, so we're going to go ahead and hop off here. If I remember correctly, last time I was at this rest area was like 2 years ago, I think, in my Chevy Bolt. Or no, that would have been more than 2 years then. 3 years ago in my Chevy Bolt. So, yeah, last time I was here, the restrooms were pretty decent. A little above average for your typical rest stop. So, nice little stop, great area to walk around, some good grassy patches, some forests, some, what do they call those? Picnic tables. I don't know why I was blanking on that. Picnic tables for lunch or whatever. So, pretty nice stop. But, yeah, I'll see you when we are back on the road momentarily. On the road again. I'm now realizing, since I didn't plan any of this, that there is no plan, which means I gotta figure out what I'm doing for dinner. So, if you have any good suggestions for, like, really solid diners along the, what is this, Interstate 71, so I-71, between Columbus and Cleveland, or even between Columbus and Dayton, but I don't think there's any. Yeah, go ahead and, drop them in the comments below. Would be super awesome. Obviously, it's not going to help me today, but I'm sure I'll be visiting Cleveland again sometime, and, yeah, when I do, I always like to stop at diners when possible, so let me know what your recommendations are. Alright, we have figured out the charging plan, so we're going to stop at the last supercharger before the Micro Center, which happens to be the Macedonia, Ohio supercharger, and that is, I believe, one of the original superchargers that was installed in Ohio in late 2012, I believe. Part of the initial coast-to-coast rollout of version 1 superchargers back then, and it has been upgraded to version 2 dispensers. So I think that makes it like a version 1.5 site, basically, because it's V2 dispensers, but it's 120 kilowatt maximum, and as far as I know, it's still using like all the original power cabinets and things like that, so that'll be really fun to check out. But yeah, 6 stalls, 120 kilowatts, and see you there in about an hour and 15 minutes. Highway at 4% battery and 1 mile away from the Macedonia supercharger, so we're just gonna go that way and plug in. Alright, now let's watch this FSD here closely. I have only seen it park itself 2 times ever, and never at a supercharger, but there's a first time for everything, so maybe we'll see it park in the supercharger spot. Probably not, but just in case, I'm gonna record. Oh my gosh. I think it's actually gonna try. Holy moly, check this out. Alright, this is the first time I have ever seen it park at a supercharger. This is amazing. And it actually backed up competently. Sweet! Alright, well, let's go ahead and get plugged in, see how much we need to charge. But that was wicked cool. Super duper cool. Let's grab this old V2 handle here, plug it in, and hopefully it starts to communicate. There we go, it's communicating. It'll take a little more than 6 seconds, I believe. Maybe somewhere around 10 or 12. Certainly thinking. Yep, it's doing a whole lot of thinking. Hopefully it'll do charging. There we go. All right, cool. So we should see 120 kilowatts maximum. We're probably going to see closer to like 110 or 115 if I had to guess. But let's see here. Okay, 28 is not what I was expecting. What? Okay, let's unplug and make sure we're not splitting. So let's see, the other car's on 2B. Let's make sure we're not splitting with them, though we shouldn't be. Oh, here we go. Maybe it's just taking a hot minute for the modules to ramp up. I'm going to be honest, I've only charged on a like version 1.5 charger only once before. So I'm not familiar with the quirks and behaviors of the original, version 1 power modules. Looks like we're still getting just 57 kilowatts, so let's put it in service mode and see what exactly is going on, because that feels like maybe we're splitting power. So if I open that... Oh no, we are splitting power. Alright, let's move. Okay, there's a really weird site layout, and it looks like 2A, which is like 3 or 4 stalls over, is linked to 2B, way on the other side of the charger. So I'm going to back up to 1A, as cool as it was that FSD parked for us. I have to move. And let's see if we can get at least 110 kilowatts from this charger here. This is what we're looking for. Well, we're looking for more than 152 amps, actually. Hopefully it spins up another power module. If we're stuck to 50 kilowatt charging, I might have to find an alternative to supercharging, which is kind of wild. Yeah, rate limited by charging station. What the heck? Alright, well that was an extremely underwhelming charge stop. Here I was all excited, like, hey, we're going to check out the, like one of the first chargers to ever be installed in Ohio. And we're stuck at 150 amps. This is not a Chevy Bolt. We need more speed than that. So let's see what other options we have on PlugShare. Okay, the short answer is the infrastructure up here is not great, especially along this 271 to I-71 corridor. So let's grab the Seville, Ohio charger, edit. We'll do Seville, remove Ashland. So Micro Center to Seville. I'm going to shut off the AC for just maximum charging here, because Seville is the next nearest charger on the route that we need to get to. So I guess we're going to be stuck here at 50 kilowatts, which is just really not cool. I'm going to try, just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to move 2 chargers over and just see if it's a fluke. All right, hopefully 3A is the charm. So we tried 2A and 1A, and we got, what was it, 57 or 59 kilowatts and then 50 kilowatts. So now 3A is hopefully our savior. This is a 6-stall, so it's an old supercharger, which means that 1, 2, and 3 are 2 posts per power cabinet. So if power cabinet 1 is gimped and power cabinet 2 is already in use, then they're both going to be running at half power. Hey, there we go. All right, cool. So there was just a problem with power cabinet 1, and power cabinet 2 was already in use. So now we're getting 110 kilowatts, which is far, far more palatable. So 37, yeah. All right, cool. So we will actually reroute to Ashland. So let's remove Seville, put Ashland back in play. So now we're going to go from Macedonia, Ohio, to the Micro Center, and then back down to the Ashland supercharger, which means we're going to need 30% battery? Looks like, because we're at 10, and we would arrive at a minus 15. So I think we're here until we get to 30 or 32%. This is pretty cool. Looks like the supercharger here in Macedonia has a publicly available Tesla Wi-Fi. So I think that's one of the Starlink connections, where they put like a little Starlink receiver here. That way they can get network connectivity to and from the supercharger. So nice to see. All right, just like before, we are locked in at about 109 kilowatts, or at 29% battery, so we are getting ready to leave here as soon as it ticks over to 30%, and then we'll head to Micro Center, and then back down south to Ashland, Ohio, on our way back as quickly as we possibly can. But the exciting part for you guys is probably going to be Micro Center, because that's where we pick up the brand new microphones. Let's roll. Arrived at Micro Center. Well, we're like right around the corner. It's right there. So we've basically arrived at Micro Center. So we're gonna go ahead and find ourselves a quick parking space. Hopefully there's nothing going on there with that Nissan Ariya that has their hazards on. And we will park and then go pick up the microphones. See you in a minute. All right, testing, 1, 2, 3. All I did was pick up the microphone, clip it to my collar here because I'm about to get out of the car, otherwise I'd put it on the seatbelt, and pair it to the camera. So I have no idea what this sounds like, but hopefully it sounds better. So yeah, with that, I'm actually going to leave it recording here, and I'm going to keep the mic with me and walk back and unplug the car, because there was an EVgo station actually right in the parking lot of the Micro Center. So we ended up charging from 25 to 39%, and with that, we're actually going to travel now from here to Mount Gilead, Ohio. So Cleveland to Mount Gilead, it's about 105 miles. We'll get there at 8% battery, and then we're going to plug in, and I will probably snag something to eat at that point, because it'll already be 9:15. So we have got to go if we're going to make it back to Dayton in a reasonable hour. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug my CCS adapter. I still need a new one of those because, yeah, I'm still using the broken off Electron one. Total session time, 5.5 minutes, 12 kilowatt hours dispensed. I had to use the opposite handle, CCS A instead of B, because the electric Jeep next to me was using the opposite handle for some reason, so I had to kind of snake it over and, make it work. But it's all good. So with that, I will end this experimental microphone clip, and hopefully the audio sounds better. But yeah, we're going to get back on the road. See you in a bit. Having never really used a microphone outside of a typical wired Shure SM, whatever it is, SM 48, 47, on a stage setting, this is pretty cool. Just having a wireless low latency microphone that I can just talk into that's kind of near my face, but it doesn't have to be up against me, or I'm holding a giant microphone or something. So yeah, initial impressions, pretty solid. Apparently it does 15 hours of audio recording and has USB-C for recharging if I needed to recharge it real quick without the case. So yeah, hopefully the audio quality is good. I won't have a chance to actually listen to it until I get back and start editing this video. So if it's not, I will be sorely disappointed. But hopefully it is doing a good job of capturing my voice in high fidelity and canceling out the noise of the car and the suspension. All right, we are approaching the Mount Gilead supercharger. So pretty good drive so far. It is 9:11 p.m. So I think we're gonna get back to Dayton at 11:15, which is pretty solid, all things considered. So we're gonna go ahead and plug the car in here. It's a version 2 supercharger, so hopefully it's not too full. We'll get about 150 kilowatts of power. And while it charges, I'm actually going to run over to the McDonald's there and use the restroom, and probably grab a quick bite to eat, and then we'll get right back on the road. Holy moly. Okay, this is amazing. So it's backing in again. So once again, this is FSD. It is actually running, and it seems to have realized it wasn't in a spot, or maybe it just was turning around. Well, that's a bummer. All right, it was just turning around for basically no reason. So let's go ahead and get ourselves plugged in here on the end. Well, kind of the end, the second to last one here. And we'll just auto park. We'll let it do its thing. All right, we are parked. We're at 5% battery, and it says we have negative 29%. Let's get back to our destination. So we're gonna open this up. Wow, these stickers are really, really faded. That says 1B, if you can even read that. So hopefully, yep, that's 1A. Perfect. So we plug in. It's having a think. We'll hop in here real quick. Let's see. Mount Gilead, Ohio, 5% battery. I think this is 37 cents per kilowatt hour, if I remember correctly. Hey, I was correct. 37 cents per kilowatt hour. So really quite reasonable for high-speed charging, especially in the middle of nowhere where, presumably it's not cheap to just put in I'm trying to think of what that is off the top of my head, 600 kilowatts of charging. Yeah, 600 kilowatts of service. So yeah, shot right up to 135 kilowatts. That's about the maximum that we will get here. So, yeah, let it charge. Let's go grab a burger and use the restroom. All right. I suppose this is technically edible. I don't know that I would call it food, but you know, it'll get the job done. Walking back from the McDonald's, it was decent. The nuggets were way worse than I was expecting. Usually the nuggets are pretty solid, but those fries, I mean, I don't think they could have been any fresher if you ate them straight out of the fry basket. Those were some crazy good fries, actually. That was quite the upset there. But yeah, just a quick stop. I think we were there for, I don't know, probably 15 minutes or less. So we're all fueled up, used the restroom. So now we just gotta come back over here, and you can see we're actually maxing out the site right now. So each individual car there is using like a dedicated 150 kilowatt line. So if anyone else showed up, one of us would be splitting power. But where are we at? 58% enough? Oh yeah, we got way more than enough. So let's unplug, because we're estimating 22% arrival. Should have been watching that from inside, but that's all right. Goes to show with, come on, there we go. Even with the, or it goes to show with the efficiency of this new Model 3 Highland long-range rear drive that you really don't need a whole lot of battery power to go a whole lot of distance. So we got 114 miles left on our drive, and I am already tired, so let's get the heck out of here. Other quick side note, if you ever find yourself interested in the DJI Action 5 Pro, I think, whatever the current action camera is, I gotta say, the battery life is like really good. And I've done a significant amount of filming since then. Of course, there's a wireless connection to the microphone and all that, and yeah, I mean, we're only down to 40%, and I'm pretty sure I have filmed like a few hours worth of clips with it. So somewhere in that like 1.5 to 2 hour range. So I should say a couple of hours. But yeah, battery life, super impressive. Highly recommend. All right, for all of you flashlight enthusiasts out there, check this out. That, which I will make sure is not on while I pass the farmhouses here. This is the Convoy M21B with the LHP 73B emitter, I believe. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, like, video is not conveying the incredible amount of throw that this thing has, but I can see, like, way into these fields. It's absolutely wild. In fact, I'll move the camera here to the front. You should be able to see. So like, this is the regular car's, this is the car's high beams. That is the flashlight. That's the flashlight off. And that is the Model 3's LED lights plus the Matrix high beams. And that is the flashlight. Utterly insane. It is also worth noting that in order to achieve this performance with this flashlight, we're using a high-performance 21700 cell because, yeah, normal batteries can not handle the amount of current required in order to make a flashlight that is arguably as bright, if not a little bit brighter, than the high beams of a car. All right, we made it with just a little bit of time to spare. 11:40 p.m. and we are back in Dayton. So mission accomplished. We've got a brand new microphone, so hopefully that sounds great. Like I said, I'm going to have no idea what this sounds like until I get to editing it, so hopefully it sounds good. But yeah, new microphone for the channel, so hopefully audio quality will, you know, be a little nicer on some of the newer videos. And yeah, thanks for coming along with me. We covered, I think it was like just over 500 miles, 500 and something, like 520, 540 miles. So yeah, a lot of traveling in one day, but we were able to make it. And yeah, I think it was 500 and we'll call it 25 miles in about 7 hours. So overall, pretty good. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.